Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by.
And
weep not for the
memories. We have reached episode 200, and along the way, many great grapes have graced our faces. Thank you for all of your patronage, great grapes of the past and great grapes of the present. I think that the best way to open up episode 200 is to both welcome back for episode 200. I am Electric Man.
Marcus!
Yeah!
And I believe the grape gods have blessed us because Tiny's got some terrible tabs.
I do. It's that time. It's that time again. We all know what it is for Tiny's terrible tabs. I want you to look at this first because it's relevant.
Oh, don't look at it.
Sir?
No, don't make me look at that.
So that was the first tab, but that was just for y'all.
Why is that even on there?
I just looked it up just to show y'all. But here's really where
I'm not surprised.
Here is really where this is going to get good. So I was sitting at my house alone one night doing some late night gardening.
This is really concerning story when you showed it from the first picture that you showed us.
That picture had nothing to do with it. But was that not a terrible tab?
Oh, by the way, Marcus, just to catch you up, Tiny has recently started gardening.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
that's a
indoor
good
gardening, you know, just it's a thing, you know.
It's very popular.
So I was it began on YouTube, and I came across Mormon cryptozoology.
Oh, yes.
Huh?
This is amazing.
Oh, I'm ready to hear this.
What I saw was
Feed
there.
me, baby.
I'll just read you a little bit from the website Mormon-er.
Wait, like I'm more Mormon than you are?
Yeah. Well, there's no E. It's
I'm
Mormon
Mormoner.
Mormon than R.
You might be Mormon, but I'm Mormoner.
Mormoner.
Well, apparently some sections of Mormonism believe that Bigfoot is Cain from the Bible and or his descendants.
That's where that
Gross.
came from. I heard something about this while I was also gardening. I did not know where that came from, and I did not want to look it up because I was scared.
There's an appropriate level of gardening I had to get to understand it. Okay, so, you know, we all know the story of Cain and Abel. Well, Cain kills Abel, and God curses him, and he's like, well, people are just going to seek me out and kill me.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I'm going to give you this blessing to protect you, and, you know, you're going to have this mark upon your person. That mark was that of the Sasquatch. Okay. And all this is pre-flood era. So, you know, Cain is out in the wilderness as Bigfoot, and Cain planted his seeds as, you know, any man would, I guess. And so there's a verse in Genesis, which I don't have written down because I forgot and I'm a bad person. It talked about there being giants in the land those days. And now we have to focus on that word in. It said in and not on. So the theory is that the giants were in the caves. So Cain hid out in the caves with the giants while everything was flooded. He makes it through the flood times, and he has his kids.
And he has needs.
Yes, and he has needs.
He's in the cave with the giants, and
wait.
Cain has needs.
Water goes down into holes.
Look, I didn't delve too deep, but there's other evidence to back it up.
Evidence, okay.
I'm
Marcus,
waiting.
And mostly because of a
A
passage.
loose use of the word evidence there.
Have
I'm
you
sure.
have you ever thought
Yeah.
that if we were time travelers and went back in time, that we could definitely be better Joseph Smiths than Joseph Smith?
I could come up with way crazier
Well,
shit.
especially if we traveled through time.
Like-
I mean, yeah,
like
would
we could come
we
back-
would actually predict things true.
We could that, and also we could have like lighters.
And an electric guitar.
Oh my God! Don't get them started. I'm the god of thunder, Thor. This is called eruption.
It sounds like a knockoff Bill and Ted plot.
Hey, shut your fucking mouth.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Put some respect on that.
I mean,
man.
the last little bit I'm going to get into because it's kind of funny. So around 1865, that time, there was a guy named Spencer W. Kimball who wrote the book, The Miracle of Forgiveness. So in a passage, he was walking around and he was claiming that the apostle David W. Patton met a very large, hairy man who identified himself as Kane during a mule ride. Although Kimball doesn't identify Kane as Bigfoot, this idea is where the rest of it sprung from, that the mark of Cain was that of the Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that was
I love
Tiny's terrible tabs for this day.
I think
That was all?
I think that the first tab was just for everybody
the
who
first
got
tab
to see
was
it,
for a funny.
and that was very terrible. And I
It
wish I
was.
didn't have to see it.
I really did not
It
appreciate
was
that.
appropriate for
Like,
Tiny's
it-
terrible
like,
tabs.
in
was
all
it not?
honesty, like I couldn't eat a banana split that size.
Well, I mean, this isn't the first time.
Like how big can
It
you
got me
zoom?
real excited.
How big can you zoom your eggplant emoji?
Well, I could just do the exploding of my beverage in my hand. Does that not work?
That's all right.
So are
Hi everyone. I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
I'm Otto. I get to handle drugs at my new job, Cogdale.
And I'm Tiny, slightly wet Zent.
I'm Marcus. I am Electric Man.
Welcome back. And we are Nerd at the Grapevine, the podcast where four best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. Today we're going to be doing some revisiting of some old, really fun times that we have had together over the past 200 episodes.
It's insane.
Let's go.
I literally cannot believe that we made it to 200 episodes. I mean, it's been a trip. It has been a trip, and what a long, strange trip it has been.
It's been a trip, and dare I say, our favorite rocket ship.
Soaring
Flying through the sky?
little yeah.
Line?
I can
Einstein.
fly twice as high.
Yeah, that's I can't believe it. It's been a joy. It's been an honor. It's not like it's over, but it's crazy to think that we made it to 200 episodes. Podcasts usually peter out way before that.
Yeah, and this one, I'm sure, had its moments where it almost did. Let me just say, I'm very excited to be back for this episode. And I miss it. I really miss coming over here every week and talking to you guys.
I've kept the butt groove in your chair pretty worn in.
Yeah,
It's yours now.
he's got a very
It's your butt groove.
He's got a very similar bungus.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's the passing of it's like the passing of the torch. It's like my butt groove is now yours.
Yeah.
Keep it well.
Yeah, but I don't even know whose butt groove is whose butt groove except for Tiny's, because Tiny's butt groove has been the most predominant of the butt groove, so he has his butt groove chair.
I mean, I'm the largest man here.
I actually made sure that whenever we rearranged the strip mall studio that I had the same chair, because my autistic ass really can't deal with change that well.
Yeah, little did
Your ass has it too.
I'm really glad that we decided to do it the way, because I was gonna just have him, show up and there'd be a love seat over there, and he'd have to sit right next to you the whole time, Marcus. But then I thought, that might not be good. What if Marcus doesn't want to be on the camera? What if Otto doesn't want change? I don't want different.
Listen. Some days I just need a 1 to 2 week notice of something happening in my life, or else I will cry. But 200 episodes. I know I haven't been on it for. I'm the newest grape, a little shiny, still got a little bit of stem growing on me. But I really enjoyed it, and I actually went back because I was a fan before. I remember, Austin, you tell me about this back when you worked at your last place of jobness.
Yes.
And tell me about it. And I listened to it, and I actually went back and wrote down everything we talked about on our first episode. And I figured maybe we can reminisce a little bit.
Our first episode, or
the pod's
first episode. Okay.
We as in the big umbrella of us all being grapes.
I was just wanting to clarify.
Well, spoiler alert, in case people don't, know things, I didn't get the first Neuralink. I didn't. It didn't go to me, and they have not yet made a brain Zune available.
And that was actually Dane's topic. He talked about the Neuralink chip, and something funny. So Neuralink, you guys were talking about, oh, what if like all these bad things happen? They killed like 100 monkeys trying to get the brain chip to work. They put it into one dude, and he said it was the worst mistake he ever made in his life. So I think
the interview that I saw with him was he loved it.
really, I think I may
Yeah.
have saw something else then.
Maybe in the beginning of it was awful trying to make it,
Yeah.
hook up to synapses correctly, because I'm sure there was a process
Right.
of having it in there and actually making it learn how to function with you and you it. So I'm
But
sure
now
that would have been awful.
But it's starting to get worked out of his brain, though.
Yeah, he's like I don't know if it's paraplegic or quadriplegic, but he's paralyzed from the the neck down, and so it allows him to actually use the computer and move his chair and things using just his mind instead of like one of the straw things.
And he was playing Civilization.
Yeah,
that
he
was his
playing
favorite
Civ,
game.
Yeah,
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big flex.
So yeah, he wasn't able to play his favorite game for I don't know how many years.
yeah, because
But then
his was due
the
to
Neuralink
accident.
allowed him to actually just play the game with his brain, because that's the only thing he can play it with.
Yeah.
He can't use his fingers and stuff. So
No fingies.
And that's a whole lot better off than and I mean, can he talk and stuff too?
Yeah,
Okay, so he's
yeah,
still,
he could talk.
so he's
He
just
was. Think of like the president heads in Futurama.
oh
Basically that.
Okay.
except is not just a head.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I mean,
He still has
that
his
was
body.
his functionality.
Well, no, I
Those
understand
all
now.
the functionality.
I understand though. It's neck down, no work.
Yeah.
Neck
But
down,
yeah,
no good.
I don't fully understand what is actually happening, other than it's kind of not working exactly like they would
Yeah.
hoped it would have.
They left like a USB-C type port on the side so he can actually like update it. So the one I saw, he was supposed to have some update to make it work better, so it could function more like with his chair and things.
Okay.
Because he was still having to use a straw for some things on his chair.
Yeah.
I just given the light of the circumstances and the time frame that's happened between when the Neuralink was talked about and all the things that have taken place since then and where we are now, my updated opinion is I'm okay. Thank you, because I've seen the Cybertrucks. And honestly, if I let the same dude that designed the Cybertruck design something that goes in my permanent brain hole, I would be mistaken. There's somebody with a Cybertruck here in town.
Oh, it's ugly.
There's
It's
actually
so bad.
there's actually
It's
two. There's
massive,
a
too.
silver one and there's a blue one. I also know that Kid Rock has a General Lee colored one that he drives around in
Of course he
Nashville.
does.
They've been recalled twice. All of them have been recalled twice.
Yeah, I've not seen a single good thing about them. Now I've been in a Tesla. The idea of the electric engine and the torque that it produces and the amount of wow that a car can do whenever you go wee, that's cool. Everything else is very primitive in it, looking like it's minimalistic. To where it's like I don't feel like I'm in a car. I feel like I'm in a capsule.
Yeah, and that part I think's cool because like I think aesthetically the inside of them things are beautiful.
Oh, it's very minimalistic. There's no gauges and all this other crap
You
that you're
have-
having.
You have to go on an iPad to open up the glove box on them because they can't just have like a glove box hole. That seems I mean, I get the futuristic part, but I feel like it'll get very dated very quickly.
Well, I think it's one of those things that they tried to shoot for all of it in one go.
You see, you're just thinking, what about in the year of our Lord 2045 when I can equivalent the year of this year's Tesla to the year of my Honda? Is it?
See, listen, my 1997 Honda CRV is a timeless work of art, and it will never go out of date. It was so bare bones that it's impossible for it to be outdated.
Didn't it die just a little while ago, but then it
It
sprung
was-
back to life?
Okay, so for one, that was the harmonic balancer came loose, and luckily.
Just a big old fucking block of cheddar jack. Just a big old fucking block.
You guys don't know unless you're watching the YouTube video. Sonny just got out of his everyday carry satchel. Oh my god! 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 Hold on a minute! Hold on a minute! This is too good! Hold on! Hold on a minute! Hold on!
You don't have emergency cheese?
Hold on a minute! Hold on! Just a minute! This. Like, we can't do this.
Fully unwrapped.
We can't do this on our own. Hold on a damn minute. This is falling into chaos already. We only got through barely one topic. This is not good.
So
Call
dry.
has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 9
I'm not entirely let down.
So
I'm not entirely let down.
Anybody else want some cheese?
I'm okay. But yes, my car does have a weird thing where it brakes and unbrakes. But you know what? That's just the beauty of driving a 13-year-old cat of a vehicle.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute before this time has passed. This is not. I can't believe this has happened. Okay.
What's happened?
Hi, Dane.
Hello.
How you're here with Marcus and Tiny and Otto and me.
Hi, Dane.
Hello.
It's episode 200.
It's Scooby and the gang, and it's episode 200.
I want to let you know something very important and why I've just called you, because since you've left, sometimes chaos happens, and today's chaos was brought to you by Tiny Got Snaggy, and Tiny brought an entire block of Colby Jack cheese.
Like in the middle of us
How
talking.
far into that thing are you right now?
At least halfway.
He's
Well,
at least a good quarter.
Am I the only one that has backup cheese in their bag?
Yes, you are. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm not. I understand the mindset. I'm just surprised that it happened. Like I understand about wanting to eat a whole block of cheese, but just the fact that you just pulled it out, it was fully unwrapped. Was it in a wrapper, or did you just have it
The
bareback?
wrap's in the bag. I unwrapped it while y'all were talking.
Did you just say it was unwrapped
It was
in the pocket?
no. He unwrapped it while it was still in the pocket. He did it all magician sleight of handy while we were
you-
talking.
That was what
You're
I
a
stored in your
cheese
fridge.
wizard.
We were deep into conversation about the first topic that you ever brought to the podcast, all 200 episodes ago, which was
What the hell was that?
the Neuralink.
Oh, God. Oh, that's funny.
And
It's amazing what 200 episodes of time will do to the way your brain works and thinks.
Well, just in case he's ever listening, I went ahead and unvolunteered. I
Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I said takesies backsies because no one ever said no takesies backsies, so I was able to actually do that.
And I if we said the design of the Cybertruck tells me enough that if I would trust the person who designed the Cybertruck to put something in my body that can never leave, that I don't think that I'd be a smart individual.
No. No, we take that one back.
Oh,
We have the power to uncreate things from existence, and that's one of those things.
I'm gonna say I'll be the 3 millionth person to get one, but not the first.
get one. Get a
Every
used-
person is the first person. It's just not. It just doesn't all happen at the same time.
We can get we can make sure we get a used Cybertruck that you can get that entire range of your battery now for 200 miles instead of its full capacity that it used to be.
Yeah, you can get a used Neuralink too, because maybe it's been through 3 or 4 different skulls.
But yeah, yes.
They'll wipe it off first with an alcoholic swab.
Yeah, it'd be sterile.
Maybe this one will be the one to take, and it'll be just like a real life anime, Austin. You can trust it.
Yeah, of course. Did you say Marcus? Where's Marcus?
I'm right here.
I can barely hear you.
Oh, he's on the opposite side of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, Marcus opted to be off camera, but on audio.
Yeah. Nobody needs to see my
Oh,
grubby
okay. Well, that's
face.
pretty good though. That's a good compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's hanging out in the corner in the old chair and talking, and has his headphones on, and he's on the cast, but he's not having to be on the phone.
Excellent. Well, me either.
Yeah, you're just
Look at you.
you're just the phone screen is what you are. But knowing Tiny,
Okay.
he's gonna make sure that he puts up lots of good
I'll
pictures.
put up like a little picture or something, so they'll
Yeah.
know what you.
we made sure to open up the episode extra special for the YouTube video.
Yeah, don't tell him
oh,
what
yeah?
we did. He'll have to watch
I'm
it.
not. He's gonna have to watch it.
Okay, yeah, no spoilies.
No spoilers.
You did get him to sign the waiver form, right, to be on here, in case of injury.
No, he's fine. He's talking.
What about
into-
mesothelioma?
He's in a chair, He's in a chair.
I've heard it's all very communicable.
He might. The worst case, he might get paresthesia due to obturation.
Oh, that's fine. That's on him.
Oh, and we got to release homers, and people got to listen to homers.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yep.
dude.
That's so awesome.
And if
I want to
people-
know the reaction.
Yeah, we
I worked
did-
hard on that thing.
We did a reaction video to listening to homers, and then we did we released it on Patreon for the $10 tier for them to have.
Oh my god, I
So
did
we-
not know this.
So they don't have to listen to our ugly voices over
So
the top of the beauty.
Homer's is out in the world now.
Will you cut my bungus?
Yep.
we were
My feet slip
idiots.
off the pedals.
But yeah, I thought that I would call and make sure that you made it to episode 200 with us.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you did.
And I don't know if there'd be a better time than when you watch this video and get to see the point that Tiny pulls the entire block of Colby Jack cheese out of his pack and just takes a bite of it like
It
it
kind of
was.
looks like Oklahoma now.
We're at like an eighth sliver
If
left.
you hold it this way, Kentucky.
You've been on the phone with me 5 minutes. The man has one tiny-sized bite of cheese left,
It's like a 2-biter left.
and that's after he's been taking a bite and then setting it on our tables out here.
No, it's on my tablet,
Oh yeah, that's
which
better.
is probably worse.
Yeah, tablet's definitely a better plate option than those nasty ass tables.
Yeah, that
They've been cleaned maybe once.
yeah, that
Maybe.
fruitcake from the first taste, it was still there for a while. I had to be the one to clean it up again.
I wasn't gonna touch it.
It
Yeah,
didn't. It,
the
oddly
bug-
enough, did not mold.
The bugs did not want it. It was still good. Like a month later, I'm like, that's not. I shouldn't have eaten that into my body.
Like the frog,
Was it
the
still
frog
moist?
starved itself to death underneath your chair
Oh yeah.
yeah,
before it tried to eat the fruitcake that was left out.
we when we moved the studio around, we found a mummified frog under one of the chairs.
Dude, I feel like that thing was like just lying in wait, just waiting for its moment to strike me.
It
And
was.
the day it decided it was going to do it was the day that I moved, and like that was the first episode I wasn't on, and then it just said, "What's the point?" And it just kind of died there.
From sadness.
Like I stalled it out.
Yep, you waited it out,
Yeah,
and
lived your
it,
hitman.
It lost out in the end because it by the time that we found it, it might as well have been like a dog treat that we got at that pet boutique. I think I could have sold that sumbitch for $40. You want a dehydrated frog, buddy?
Is the cheese gone? I feel like
Yes.
timing wise, the cheese should be entering its final bite.
It
the
is,
cheese-
and I gotta go pee.
So the cheese
It's
has
a
been,
part of.
Yep, it is a part of him, and now he is having to exit and still go pee, even though we have neighbors that live within eyesight now.
He's gonna piss cheese.
Oh,
He's just gonna pee. He's just gonna pee cheese. There's gonna be no pee or poop. It's just all cheese.
well, you never know. I mean, I just got through with that real bad food poisoning, and the first pee that I took whenever, you get into the shower, and it's about halfway through the shower, and you're like, I'm not getting out, I got to pee, and you just pee in the shower. Man, it came out looking like frothy, chunk brown.
Oh yeah,
And
the
I
good
was-
stuff.
and I was
the
like-
stuff you had the quick thought of, should I bottle this? But then you just let it go.
Yeah,
Looked like a Guinness.
I'm never going to try to not fully all the way tough feeling pork cook Walmart pork ever again.
Ooh, yeah. Trudy was right to not partake.
Yeah, she took a couple bites. She's like, I don't like this, but I'm not going to let him know. I'm just going to eat these mac and cheese. And I was like, okay, well, I think it tastes good. And then I lost like 20 pounds in 5 days. So
The diet of champions.
yeah, a lot of people just drink that Hollywood detox tea to get that kind of result.
Oh, just get some E. coli.
Speaking of Tiny and this block of cheese, what was everybody's favorite thing that they tasted
The
on the show?
favorite.
I never
thing?
tasted anything on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Marcus, you got to escape all the taste-its?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done
Yeah,
it
he
anyway.
did.
I probably wouldn't have done it anyway. Y'all ate like anchovies or something on
Oh
here
God,
once.
no, that was me. And
Oh,
Yeah, that was just you.
that was like the first
and
time.
the only thing I had to wash it down was coffee.
Oh, that's a rough combo. I think.
What was it,
Oh, I
like
forgot about that.
fried anchovy or something?
It was freeze dried, deep fried anchovies.
Oh,
That's too many things.
And I had only had coffee that I could wash it down with out here, and I needed liquid. That wasn't my favorite thing that I've ever eaten. I promise you, that's not my favorite taste it. I think my favorite taste it might have been the apples. Honestly, I can't think of a better taste it than just some tasty apples.
Oh yeah. Well, it's where I discovered that I love the worst apple.
Yeah, the one that tasted like what Anakin hates.
Yeah, sand.
Yeah,
Yes.
the sandy red.
Do you know how many bags, how many pounds of those apples I've purchased since moving here?
I have no
Like
idea.
there's always a 5-pound bag of them in my fridge. I just keep eating them. What is wrong with me?
You discovered a new passion, and that's eating the apples.
Eating apples, but eating the ones that everyone else just remembers that they had to eat in school.
Yeah,
They were forced. They're the ones that people force you to eat for nutrition, not for taste. And I'm over there just nomming down on them, just saying thank you to the apple lords.
I think that Tiny eating that giant block of cheese is way weirder than your love for red delicious apples.
That no,
That's
no,
debatable, as the rooster would say.
no. Loving them red delicious is definitely weirder than cheese. Cheese is delicious.
See, I knew it.
Well, Dane, been a
Yes.
thank you for being on here.
Man, thank you guys for calling me. Happy 200.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad. I knew that the show was in perfect hands with you guys running the show. And I hope that I get to be popping in on episode 300
Okay.
Nice.
or before that.
Yeah.
Always let me. Yeah. If you guys ever have a recording, just and you think, let's ask Dane. He's probably got a stupid opinion or idea. Let me know.
I will. I'll
Will
text
do.
first though.
Okay. Yeah. Do that first. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah, it's smart. Otherwise, otherwise it's an emergency.
Yes. Yeah. Please. No one calls me.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye, friends.
Bye.
Oh man, that's nuts. That's just reminiscent. What? See, Marcus, you missed out on a lot of the tasteds, and that's something that I think that you've that's a score for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. I would have refused
score
to do it.
score for you on that one because Tiny
Why?
likes to watch other people suffer.
Hey,
now,
I eat it
now
too.
the sour ball was pretty interesting.
Those
You might
were
have done the
good.
really sour candy.
They actually burnt my mouth because I had a second one when we went out, and I had that actual like burnt feeling on the top of my mouth.
It's like a sunburn in your mouth.
Yeah.
After
So
the second one.
So the next topic was won by the Rooster, another OG GG. And he talked about his top 5 favorite moments of Rogue One. Because that movie had just come out the year before, I believe.
Dang, we're old as fuck.
True.
Right? So
I mean, we've been doing this. I mean, not me personally, but this show has been around like longer than we went to high school, just about.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, 'cause-
Don't put it in those
So
terms.
the first episode actually dropped on August 3rd of 2020. So it is now on the day.
It's getting close to 4 years,
It is June 3rd,
Wait, are we
2024.
seniors, like getting
Yeah.
ready to graduate?
basically.
Yeah.
What are we going to graduate into? Making money?
You want that
Yes, please,
Wouldn't that be
please.
great?
I want to quit my job and just do podcasting forever. That
Yeah,
sounds
that would be
fun.
awesome.
What do you want us to do? Sing another song? Vitamin C graduation? As we go on,
No,
we remember.
see, mine was Green Day. Good Riddance was my graduation.
You
thing.
and about 1 billion other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the song's actually called "Fuck You." Trudy's graduation theme song was "Thunderstruck" by AC/DC.
Well, she also, her graduating class was like 3 people.
They had like 40.
Ooh, in that one-room schoolhouse.
Hey, don't make fun of Spencer.
I will. I've been there.
We might have listeners there.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry. Move to a better city.
Yeah, like if we do have listeners there, y'all are great.
And you also
I'm
know,
not talking about you.
and
I'm
you
talking
also
about your
know that your
neighbor.
traffic system there sucks, and that if you're driving 1 mile an hour over, they're going to pull you over.
I had a cop ride my ass while I was going through there, and I sped up a
Weird
little bit by
flex.
accident, and
Weird flex, but okay.
he pulled me over. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm picking up this girl." He's like, "Are you from around here?" I'm like, "Obviously not, bro. My plates say Putnam. What are you doing?"
You're not from around these parts.
He wasn't even a cute cop. I mean, what the fuck? But I actually even wrote down like the 5 favorite moments of what he talked about. So I don't know.
Good, because I don't remember any moments from
Right.
the movie.
So he said the first thing he liked was when we meet the rebel informant and like he ends up whenever the first guy meets the informant guy and the stormtroopers come in, he actually just shoots his informant instead of letting him get captured or trying to take him with him. And it portrays the rebels as not always the good guys, which I think, when done well, we've had a little bit of that in media or people trying to do that. But I think especially when the movie came out, like, it was very a fresh idea and handled kind of well to show
It was
that.
probably the only good new Star Wars movie. It was nice to see how they got the plans, but there was a lot of things for the sake of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
they had some-
there was also some of that.
They had some
in
Easter
A New Hope.
eggies in there,
Let's be
too.
real, but it did have some Easter eggies.
Like the
I
first
mean,
mention of the dark saber and the actual
yeah.
canon Star Wars
Well,
stuff.
but see, it started off the thing that Marvel did and all that other stuff where everything's got to be tied together so intricately. So let's bring in the Mandalorian. Let's bring in, Book of Boba Fett. Let's bring in this other thing. And it's like, can we just have something that just stands by itself?
Right. The next thing he talked about was
Funny you say that too.
Vader's castle, which I actually really enjoyed from the movie. I actually forgot it was in the movie, but I love Darth Vader, and when he's portrayed as the force of nature bad guy that he is and should be, and you get to see his like lava castle because he's just that much of a bad guy.
I like it in Rogue One, and I watched a scene of it here recently broken down with the music. They talked about how it actually, the ignition of his lightsaber changes the key of the music because it adds an extra note to the chord. And that's some damn nerds. We're some nerds, but that's some damn nerds right there. But it shows it, like the actual tone and frequency when they ignite the saber, and it changes it into a more menacing chord as far as that goes. And it was very cool to see, because as soon as Vader's lightsaber ignites in that hallway, whenever he's about to fight all those damn rebels, I cause be damned. I'm like, hack them up, baby. Just make them small pieces.
Oh yeah. He also liked the interrogation of Jyn Erso, which I can see that. The Battle of Scarif, which actually I really enjoy too, because I think it shows, it's nice to see a full-blown battle on screen and not just what dairy product did you grab from your bag?
This one.
He was acting like he was reaching for another block of cheese.
I was getting prepared. I
only
wasn't-
brought one block of cheese.
But I think that they showed a really cool battle on Scarif, because in a lot of like mainline Star Wars, we get to see snippets of battle, but this was actually like, oh no, this is an army fighting a guerrilla army. And the Vader hallway scene, which I think everyone can agree that it's just cool, because yeah, it makes Vader terrifying. Actually, Marcus, the next one is your topic that was discussed, and it was the
Dark.
Yep.
I remembered.
Yeah, I think you said season 3 had just come out, so I don't know if it's still going on. Maybe you can talk about it a little bit
No,
more.
it's over. It was a 3 series run, and even though I'm not gonna say I completely understood the ending, but I'm also not gonna say I enjoyed it all that much either. Regardless of my feelings on the ending, it's absolutely worth a watch. Anybody that's into time travel at all, it's the most bonkers, wild time travel story I've ever encountered. Yeah, I think it holds up. I think it's really good. I think it's awesome still. And then they did that other show. So since their success with Dark, they did, gosh, I'm not going to be able to think of it, 18-something. It was like about a boat that had all this like interdimensional things going on with it.
I think I've heard something.
But then
like
it
that.
got kind of canceled, and I don't think it was a very good show anyway. But yeah,
I
Dark is awesome.
I think everything Marcus loves actually ends up getting canceled, because I went back and listened to episode 100, and episode 100 today,
Raised by Wolves?
was Raised by Wolves cancellation.
Dude, they've got to bring that back. But at least give me a comic book or something. You've got to finish the story. There's an online, of course, fan base for Raised by Wolves, and we just want the end of the story. We don't care what medium we get it in. But it was such a cool show. I mean, I think it was one of the most creative shows.
Was that the ones where the
Out there.
baby was like raised by robots or something?
Yes.
Or it was raised by AI on like
on a new
Mars
planet.
or something? Yeah.
Well, it was like another planet somewhere out there.
And he had like his mom, and he had like his dad, kind of his figures, but they weren't real.
Yeah.
They were real to him.
But, that just makes it sound stupid. But, it had its own mythology, its own lore going on to it, and trying to figure all that out is what, I want to do. And so the creator of the show has said that he'll somehow, some way finish it in some form of medium, but I don't know. We'll see.
Do like a Firefly Serenity situation.
Right. Anything. Just, I mean, you've got fan base out there. Spend a little bit of money. Hell, even make AI art now, you know?
Right.
Just do it with AI.
Yeah, I always hate that whenever you have a really good show that gets cut. Sure, I feel like that's before Disney bought Star Wars, how the Clone Wars ended. We got like season 6 just canceled after it, and they were lining up the whole Ahsoka plotline and everything, and then it took, that canceled in like 2012, 2014, I think, and we just last year got, or maybe the year before, got season 7 of Clone Wars, and it's awesome still. So hopefully they can do that for Dark and the other one, or the Raised by Wolves that you're talking about.
I doubt it. It didn't have that kind of mass appeal, but
I think that there's another funny thing too about just like our topic of conversation right now, just because we've mentioned a couple times like the sprinkling of Marvel and how Marvel and Disney and Marvel and Disney and Marvel and Disney and how they've just taken all of these things and oversaturated us now to the point to where I think a majority of us in this room have superhero burnout and really don't give two flips about what the superheroes are doing in the movies anymore.
I do not care about Marvel superheroes. I've been on a big DC animation kick, and I'm currently watching through Young Justice.
You need to watch Otto.
The Isekai?
Oh!
I watched the first episode today, but I was not in the space to have to read it because it's only released and subbed right now.
Oh, I'm in there like swimwear, baby. I've already binged all 3.
I know. I need to go back and do it, but I was not in the headspace to have to read and watch things at the same time.
So on episode 100, my topic was actually talking about how DC had kind of started shooting themselves in the foot and kind of letting the ball drop as far as the movies that were coming out and not going along with what they needed to do and releasing the stories in the way they needed to release the stories to tell the stories of their characters the way they are, because they're trying to follow the way that Marvel's formula was. And I was talking about all the high-ranking Marvel movies and everything that were coming out, and it's like Marvel's got bangers and bangers and bangers, and DC wasn't having anything coming out but that was of substance at that point to rival this kind of reception. The best thing that they had review-wise was actually Justice League Snyder Cut, which was a 4-hour-long epic movie, basically. But now Marvel has oversaturated us to the point that our sponges cannot take anymore, and it's not coming in. It's not doing good.
And from what I understand, it's none of it is even coming close to the quality of the first few phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Much like we could say for Star Wars, I mean, we've seen the quality just plummet when it comes to Star Wars. So if they were putting out halfway decent things, I feel like the fans would be there. The fans would show up.
Right.
Well, I think the problem is instead of putting out they're only putting out halfway decent things, but it's the same thing. There's no longer that because before it's like you'd have your Thor Dark World every now and then, but you'd also have like a Thor Ragnarok or an Iron Man 2 or like an Avengers. Like you'd have those like big blockbuster things, and
they were actually watchable and fun.
So basically, what they've done is you're a small child, you're at home, and your mom goes, "Son, it's just you and me now, but we're gonna have pizza every night for dinner." So that first night, she goes and gets Marco's, and she gets extra cheese, extra peps, extra hot honey on that boy. Just really gets us decked out pizza. And you eat that, and you're like, "Yeah, Mom, that was awesome." And then she does that the next week too, or the next day too. And you're like, "This is awesome." Then after that, she gets some hot and readies from Little Caesars, and that's what you get every single night.
So you're still getting
every
pizza.
Single day, you're still getting pizza.
It is not,
but it's hot
bad
and ready
pizza.
that sat there for 2 hours.
Well, then there's also the thing. I've eaten pizza for the past 4 years of my life, and now I want to hurl every time I want to see pizza. Which is
Exactly.
going to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so that I have to admit, when I see just like your mainstream superhero stuff or your mainstream Star Wars stuff, I want to hurl. I mean, I'm just not interested anymore, which is tragedy, kind of. I think so.
I saw a really good comparison video today as far as like describing stuff to me, because I've been doing my best to try to watch The Acolyte and to try to get into it. And this guy was basically like screaming the extra woke stuff at the person that doesn't like the Acolyte based on all the reasons why people are hating on the Acolyte. You know, like, oh, you're just a bigot. You don't accept you just don't like it because there's not enough white people in it. You don't, and you don't like it because it's too inclusive and it's making the women the main subject line and all this. And then the guy's like, well, actually, I just thought that they had really good Star Wars stuff happening when they made The Mandalorian, and then they made Andor that didn't get good reception from anybody because they just took lightsabers out, but it was a wonderful story. And I just feel like this is the opposite of that for people that just are like 8-year-olds that just say, ooh, lightsabers, and then that's the way they love their show. I feel like that's what they did with The Acolyte, and that's why I don't like it, but you didn't have to say all the mean stuff.
Well, that's just
I mean-
corporate talk. It's corporate shills
Well,
saying stuff like that. Like,
Here's the thing. I tapped out like season 2 of Mando. I'm like,
me too. That's
I'm
where
done.
I stopped.
Yeah, I didn't watch season 3.
Me neither.
Because Book of Boba Fett was such trash.
Yes.
Like, it started off for 3 episodes with something magical. And then it was just gone, boy.
It was
It's
garbage.
like, and then the Kenobi come out, and that was garbage.
Yeah, Kenobi was the nail in the
And-
coffin for me.
Yeah, and I was like, why do I keep eating the white dog poo?
Right, exactly. And
It's
so
like-
I'm not even interested in things like the Acolyte. Like, I have
Exactly.
zero faith that Disney is even capable of putting out a halfway decent Star Wars
Yeah.
material. Because I feel like with all this, like you said, Tiny, everything's got to be connected. We've got teams and armies of writers and blah, blah, blah. And we got to get all these scripts. Instead, like they've reversed the way you make a movie. A movie starts with a great script. And they don't do that anymore. They're like, oh, well, we got to get this, and we got to hit this criteria, and we have to test audiences to see if they're going to test positive for this thing or that thing, and then they're like, okay, let's slap it out and call it content and put it out on our streaming platform.
Yeah.
It's about quantity, not quality.
Yep.
They're making a script to fill a slot,
Exactly.
not making a script to tell a story.
Exactly.
And it's the same. I mean, that's the same with most industries now. Like the Hollywood entertainment has figured out how to make the most money, and it's to make a universe and then just keep pumping out movies annually.
Well, see, but that will only work for so long.
Yeah, and we're hitting that spot now.
We've hit that spot. We went from people who were passionate about subject material, be it Star Wars, Star Trek, or something else. We went from people being passionate about what they're doing to let's find this formula and just keep raking in this green shit that doesn't even matter.
And it's not even like the writers, because writers are wanting to make good stories. It's people in suits saying, no, you have to connect it to this because this movie's coming out in 3 years, and we need to start that
and
now.
if you don't, guess what? You don't have a job
And
now.
if you've got a television show that's coming out that's got like 17 new Jedi that are showing up, how many different lightsaber designs can you now sell at your Disney theme park? You know, like you go down there and now you're like, well, I like this one specific one that's from the Acolyte. You probably don't have that. Oh, you mean the one they specifically put in there, so you might want to buy it? Yeah,
it's
got
$300.
Yeah, there we go.
Not to mention break the lore
You know.
of the whole thing, which they did with the sequel trilogies anyway.
Yeah,
But-
they'll completely rewrite the lore to sell an extra toy.
Right.
Well, I mean, they even come out and said that everything outside of those movies are no longer canon. Disney said that. Disney's like, this is canon.
Was it ever canon to begin with, though?
No,
because I don't think
well,
George Lucas ever
so,
acknowledged
I
it
mean,
as canon. He
well-
allowed people to tell stories. but-
Right, exactly.
so-
So you can't just say, just because I own it, that these other, extended universe things that you love, they just don't mean shit. That's not canon. But
yeah.
at the
But-
same time, going and cherry picking ones out because, like, ooh, a lot of people like this.
and
that,
then destroying them.
yeah,
So-
and then just
Now,
yeah.
just real quick before we continue on our hatred, I did see one thing in the extension of the Star Wars universe today that I thought was worthy of being canon, and there's a bell for this specifically. And what happens is it's a picture, and like the nursing home picture where you got the old person and the nursing home helper, and they're having to help them do stuff. Well, it's Watu, and he says, I used to own the Darth Vader. And the nurse said, all right, yeah, that's right, Mr. Watu. Let's go ahead and get in your bed.
So
That is good.
the Star Wars lore thing actually. So back in the day, before Disney owned Star Wars, there was officially licensed like comic books, book series that were canon. Like
yeah,
they were
they were
recognized as
split
canon.
into G canon, which is the things that George Lucas acknowledges.
I thought that was
Then
Garth.
I think the other one was like T canon,
Mhm.
and then now we have Disney canon.
Right. So whenever Disney bought it, they uncanonized everything except anything that was on screen. So like your
Yeah.
movies, your TV series, those were canon. And then a couple years later, they were like, well, this is actual canon, and the rest of Star Wars old canon is Legends. And then they'll slowly like pull stuff in, but here lately, like you said, they've been like, they'll pull something in, make something of it, and then throw it back out. And
Yeah,
that's
they,
actually
they'll
not
just
canon.
shake it in front of your face like, oh, Knights of Ren, you like that? Here's this guy. We're going to call him a Knight of Ren. See, look at the keys.
Yep.
Look at the keys, baby Mark.
And
Look
they're
at the keys.
and they're doing a lot of stuff in the Acolyte to try to
Mark?
like
I don't
to
know
try
what
to
that
like make you guess who this not labeled Sith because they don't exist yet kind of individual is, and they're like, oh, just to get people talking. They tried too hard to get the nerds involved with it. They're like, oh, we're not going to tell them who this dark entity is that's going to have all these powers with the Force but doesn't want to be controlled by the Jedi. We're not going to let them know. And then they're like, well, is it Darth Plagueis? Is it going to be Darth Plagueis? Is that what you're going to give us? Oh, you're never going to guess.
Yeah, because probably what's happening is they're wanting to stir the rumor mill, so people make online videos of who could this be, what power set is this, and then they'll probably just pick whichever one is the most popular and make it. Because like
I don't know who could fly with the Force.
Disney has literally
Who
gone
could
so
fly?
far, like they don't
Leia.
settle on what anything looks like.
Well, she was also in space.
Yeah.
You
So
could be argued
stupid.
that she was pushing or pulling.
Yeah,
She was still very stupid, regardless of what it was.
She was an artist. She was drawing.
Hey,
Sorry,
rest
we
in
interrupted
peace.
you, Otto.
No, you're good. But like they have gone such like they won't finalize the design on anything until it's like right before the movie. There's a backstage shot of Samuel L. Jackson in I think one of the Captain Marvel movies where he's holding like a little pistol, and they don't even have an actual prop pistol. It is a CGI marker pistol where it's a stick on a gun handle with markers on it. I'm like, y'all can't even decide on a prop. So they're probably waiting to decide who the villain of the next season is until the internet lets them
Wait,
decide.
Sam Jackson's back in Star Wars?
No, this was Marvel.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was just talking about Disney in general.
I got
Yeah,
you.
because one.
I still wouldn't watch it, even if he was, but it would be kind of cool because I know
Yeah.
he's wanted to be back.
Well, I
wish he
remember
would
they
come back.
teased a Mace Windu series, and I think that just turned into the Acolyte, or it
Yeah.
just didn't go anywhere.
The Acolyte's like hundreds of years before everything, so it can be nobody involved except Master Yoda's still there, but Master Yoda's like 1,000 years old, so that makes sense.
Well,
Checks
I mean,
out.
they just want to just start clamoring, get people just excited and pumped up to go see it, but they haven't realized how much they've kicked us like a dog.
Mm.
And the bad thing is too, like the main character in the Acolyte, like one of the main Jedi, is a man that's I believe he's South Korean, and he didn't speak English, and he decided that he would learn English just so because he loved Star Wars so much that he wanted this role as this Jedi, and he taught himself in 3 months how to fully speak English for the portrayal of this role.
That's insane.
And to have that kind of talent and dedication and gumption put into the Acolyte, where it literally just seems like lightsabers for 8-year-olds. It sucks because that should be rewarded.
Yeah. Well, and we try to distance ourselves from, the people who are going to call us names because we don't like it, or assume something about our morals. But there is a section of people who are toxic and will just like go and attack people like online and stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah.
as bad as Obi-Wan was, that actress did not deserve being harassed.
Oh no, absolutely not.
No.
The one for what was it? The second sequel trilogy movie, Force Awakens.
Rose.
Yes, I feel so sorry for her.
Yeah, man.
Because like she couldn't help how the script was written. She didn't.
And
do a
who's
bad
going to say no to
performance.
being in Star Wars?
Right? And
Who's
I
going to
don't.
say no?
I don't think she did a bad performance, and definitely there's no performance unless you're straight up spewing hate speech that deserves for you to get chased off of the internet and forced to deactivate your account.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I'll even talk about Jar Jar. It's like
Oh, well.
I hate Jar Jar Banks. Okay, but
Yeah.
that's not the actor's fault. He took a job,
Or
and then it's the writers and the director that made Jar Jar the abomination that he is.
Or the kid
not
that
the
played
actor.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he received so much shit that it like wrecked his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like he was what, 7?
I
How
don't
well
Yeah.
can a 7-year-old act?
Well, I mean, and how well can a 7-year-old adjust to being world famous in
Yeah,
And
that's
summer.
hated,
That
and hated
too.
by Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Like, and you just think it's cool because Star Wars is cool to kids because he's that age that just likes lightsabers.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I was
Well,
about his
'cause-
age when I saw it, and I was like, "This is awesome."
Like
Star
you're telling
Wars
me
was
that,
made for kids.
like you're telling me that no, well, what's he doing? That's just a tube. It's a sword.
Exactly.
Because anything was a sword whenever you're growing up until you saw Star Wars, and then everything that was a tube became a lightsaber.
Exactly.
Right. So Austin, I actually do have your first topic as well.
I'm worried. I don't remember.
Okay, so fitting. Austin talks about shows he forgot, he remembered, and I have the list of shows.
Oh, what shows were they? Let's see if
Uh,
I still recall.
Dinosaurs,
Oh, absolutely.
VR Troopers,
We are VR troopers.
Beetleborgs,
Big bad Beetleborgs. Absolutely, still in the brain.
Superhuman Teenage Cyber Squad.
We found a toy of that.
Superhuman Samurai.
Superhuman Samurai Teenage Cyber Squad.
Yeah.
Okay, I
So overly
I
complicated.
may or
Not-
may not have been in the shower while listening to this and have
No,
fragments on my
you
head.
are.
No, you're good. You're good.
fine. I just remember because we found one of the toys at the house whenever we went
Mm.
diving into my toy chest. Not
remember
too long
that.
ago.
It sounds like a Power Rangers knockoff.
It was totally a Power
Oh,
Rangers
yeah.
knockoff.
Mhm.
So was VR Troopers. Actually, the Tommy the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank, before he got his job as Tommy the Green Ranger, was cast and was auditioning and had test footage ran of him as the main character in VR Troopers.
Right.
Yeah.
Next one,
Perfect.
Animorphs.
I absolutely remember
Yep.
Animorphs. I actually, I think there might have been an Animorphs toy in the toy box, but
There
it was in
was.
pieces. I found a leg of a cheetah, I think.
Oh yeah. Beast Wars,
Yep.
Goosebumps.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, who doesn't remember that?
Right.
Yeah, that stupid fucking dummy.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Still to this day.
I had the board game and everything.
cold.
Dude, did I say that on that episode?
I'm cold.
Because that's what I remember from.
Dude,
Are You
it
Afraid
was
of the Dark.
scary.
The pool episode
Like
was
even
the
just
worst.
the intro to the show with the creaky swing at night, like that was scary enough.
Dude,
Submit it to your
the-
approval of the Midnight Society. We call this story. And farts.
Dude, the pool episode is the one that messed me up for like weeks, dude. It's like I wouldn't get in a swimming pool. And show that just like gliding across.
Dude, they had this one that like this clown toy would like steal your soul.
Yeah, I was a little bit too young for Are You Afraid of the Dark, but I remember when Goosebumps came out, and there was an episode where like it was for Halloween, and like these aliens were invading, like taking people and killing them and replacing them, and then they just ended the episode without like a resolution of like we saved the day, and I was genuinely upset.
Yeah, they used to, and also there's something I did not talk about on that episode, but it should have been mentioned because it revolved around all those. It was a show called Erie, Indiana.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
show.
Erie, Indiana was that same kind of like more kid-based television, but it was revolving around like scary stories.
Yeah, it was kind of like Twilight Zone-y.
Yeah,
Next one, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
absolutely. And I'll never forget that upon my research for the Legends of the Hidden Temple, I found out they had to have kids like soothed off camera because the temple guards that would come out to abduct you and to pull you back when you pulled the wrong idol off the, like whatever, you got to get the idol, break the idol, find the key. You pulled the wrong item. Oh, here comes the temple guardians. Like they would scare the children so bad that they would have to like cut camera and the kids would be back behind the camera just
Oh Lord. Next one, Street Sharks.
we found the Street Shark toy in my toy box, full blown. Also, found out one of the first acting gigs for Vin Diesel was in a toy commercial,
For Street Shark.
demonstration toy commercial for the Street Sharks brand. All of their toys demonstrating how they worked.
It was when he
That's
was
bringing back some sort of memory for me. So
Yeah,
I
he
must have
was-
been here for that.
He was very skinny and he had hair, but he was rocking just like the black
Like
leather
a
vest,
black
thing.
leather vest, no undershirt.
Oh wow, very Vin Diesel before Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
Yep.
Last one, Biker Mice from Mars.
Biker Mice from Mars is actually going to be made into a live action television show
What?
for Netflix.
Oh,
I hope
live
that's made up.
Live action.
I don't ask questions. People do what they do.
Okay, 1 second. I got to consult the mother source.
Yeah, now it could have been for Prime, but I think it's a Netflix because they're doing a lot of different obscure things that shouldn't be made live action into live action. After One Piece was a success, I knew there would be a flood. So they did Yu Yu Hakusho, an old anime,
Bless you.
and it was no, it was so bad. Yeah, I figured you were gonna say something.
Okay.
I thought you sneezed.
Biker Mice from Mars. I'm seeing a upcoming movie. Biker Mice from Mars is back and coming soon. on
Yeah.
a date, and it's coming out in theaters.
Okay, so it's a movie.
Yes, it's a movie from what I am seeing.
All
Is
right.
this the promotion that you saw?
I don't trust promotions anymore because AI.
Let me see.
Okay.
Let me see.
Okay, 1 second. I don't
Ugh.
know. That is. It
I
doesn't.
don't think so. Doesn't look anything like them.
Okay, 1 second.
It's probably just AI. Also, like it's insane that we were talking early on about the implications of what AI could do, like as artwork. We were like, man, that'd be so cool if you could just like prompt it and it just like got it better than what you. And nowadays, it's scary what AI can do. Like in the span of our podcast, in this span of 4 years, AI has went from this idea that it might be able to do something to now people are using it to make Randy Travis sing again.
I mean, we use it to make this podcast.
Pretty much.
Like, we're not even really here talking.
They've done a real good job getting our stupid, obscure voices down.
Well, you know, I hate to sound insensitive, but I'm kind of not looking forward to a world where our celebrities won't just die and go away.
Yeah.
Like now our celebrities are like, you don't have to have a conspiracy theory to wonder why Elvis made a new album.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
No.
I don't like that.
No, because if Randy Travis, can make, after he's had a stroke and lost his voice, can use AI, Randy Travis, to write a new song and he put his stamp of approval on it, it's a very...
Now Randy Travis music can be made for as long as the earth is here, as long as the internet stays plugged in.
It's the year 2175, and the national anthem is just, and on the other hand, there's a golden band. That's a Randy Travis song.
Yeah, well, and not to mention, they've already done all these, like in the new Star Wars, when they de-age or they bring back dead actors, and it looks awful. I mean, that's going to get better and better and better.
I mean, like they did with Will Smith.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they did it with Will Smith. Well, I know that I don't know.
They did for that one movie.
I've seen some great de-aging. I think the de-aging thing is really cool. I don't really like the whole idea of reviving dead actors. But some actors are going to love it. Some actors are going to want to be immortal. And so, maybe Leonardo DiCaprio will his acting career will go even further than his actual life,
What is it, Otto?
So Oni Press has revealed that a name that starts with N will grow this July on the new series Biker Mice from Mars, set to release July 1st, 2024.
See?
So there is a series.
I thought that I'd ingested that somewhere.
I don't know where it's coming out at because it's weird. I've had to search like 3 or 4 links to find what it is.
That's fine. We can dig into it some other time.
But
I think that the Biker Mice from Mars television show doesn't stand a chance for being good.
Let's just hope it's just a fever dream. I mean,
yeah, because I found IMDb, the International Movie Database, and one other site has said it, and I can't find it anywhere else. So who knows? But
well, I mean, the International Movie Database has for at least the last 12 years said that they're going to do a sequel to Drop Dead Fred, where Russell Brand plays Fred. So
right. So due to internet research, I would give this a rating of could happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it should, and it's something I'm looking forward to, but I'm just saying that it was a thing. Right. And was Biker Mice from Mars my final one?
That was the final thing that you talked about on our very first episode, and it was actually the last thing that I think that was talked about because that was the end of the. It was all like that was the end of the topics in record order.
Huh. I think that's kind of funny too because I was, Tiny and me sit and listen to episode 100 today, just to kind of, just refresh, go back because that's 100 episodes ago. Like it shouldn't. Episode 100 was like it felt real good.
Yeah,
it's like holy shit, we made it to episode 100, and then we get to episode 200. I'm like, God, we're at episode 200. Like
realizing how long it has been, and how we're now in we're like the band Queen type situation. To where only one of the members is the original member. It caused us some discord today. There's a link down in the description. Click on it. Marcus is in there. We're on there live, uncut, uncensored, irrevocably circumcised.
And also, if you want to watch some videos of us that might not be these videos that you're seeing on YouTube, get on Patreon. There are 2 different tiers to Patreon. There's a tier of Patreon to where you can get the uncut episode without any edits done to it, just straight raw dog the episode. And then there's a Patreon $10 tier that's made for videos and extra content that we want to share, that we make stuff available to you that we've done, and Marcus has put some production value and stuff into. It's all going to be accessible to you on that $10 tier. The different grape songs that Marcus has produced have been put on there.
Oh, you found all that stuff,
You've,
huh?
you've been roostered.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's... It's
One
true.
of these days, I'll
It's true.
finish Tiny's Terrible Tavern. One of these
Yeah,
days.
one of these days.
Actually, I never called it that. But that's the name. I just named it.
Perfect.
Tiny's Terrible Tavern. That's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Love the alliteration.
Yeah, put it to the polls.
Gosh.
That dude, he was, honestly, the Rooster was on here the shortest amount of any grape.
But he did so much for the show.
He
Vroom,
Well,
vroom.
hold on. He was on here for the second shortest amount of time.
It was the first shortest amount of time.
The wolf.
Oh, yeah, I always forget because of the Lost episode.
Yeah.
So was that the end of your notage?
That is all the end. The only other note I had was the release date, but we've already stated that. It is crazy that it was 4 years ago, because also I think y'all started going a little bit after I started my last job, and I just recently left that job to go to another place of employment. So it's like a chapter turning the page.
So
I mean, I'm on my 3rd job during the course of this podcast.
and Marcus has
Oh.
Marcus has grown as a human being. He's a daggum.
And he's growing a human being.
He's got a human being
he
that
was
now moves
pregnant
around.
for a while.
The human being moves around on its own.
Well, yeah, which is why I don't do this anymore.
Yeah, it is solo
My life
ambulatory.
changed very drastically,
He
and
not it.
which is why I don't, come every week now. But I'm still best friends, so
Yeah,
I can still stop
absolutely.
by.
You're always welcome.
Every time.
And we were wondering just what the dog was going to do in response. Because ever since Millie's been around small children, it's always been like a bark barreur, you're a danger. And the first thing she did whenever she and walked away,
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I mean, he'd been here for a while non-ambulatory, so
she's like, "Oh, that's Sniff.
yeah.
Oh, you got toys? Let me see those bags." Man. Thanks everybody for listening. I think that it has been an absolute joy sitting and talking to you 100 episodes worth of our nonsense. I don't know any other group of people that I'd rather spend my time with and create wars at sea between the serial captains, and to have a entire war on land between the fast food industry mascots.
Yeah,
To have a
was so
sex
good.
scene in space between Tobey Maguire acting as Rose and
Gary
Busey acting as Jack. I will never
sugar-free
never
orgasm.
forget Gary Busey's sugar-free orgasm.
Or thick Mexican space ghost.
Thick Mexican Space Ghost. There have been so many good characters along the way with Nerd Through the Grapevine. Gosh, it almost seems like an in memoriam, but it's a reminiscing. God, just think back to what's his name? Mean Gene. He's gonna give you a whooping. He's just here with his belt. Mean Gene's gonna give you a whooping. Malcolm in the closet. He's still in
Yeah.
there, and I can't actually
He's
open the
still
door.
off playing
I
Cinderfoot.
can't open the door to the closet anymore where the spiders go because there's something blocking it, and I haven't been in there since I got my water heater fixed, and I don't have to check it anymore.
Well, what did you do with the bag of gifts he gave you?
I threw them all away because I felt they might be cursed like gypsy style.
So
They
you
gave
never-
me a real drag me to hell gypsy curse vibe.
So you didn't even watch the VHS tape that he gave you?
Not once, not a single time.
I was just wondering what was on it.
I didn't want to find out. Yeah. What else? God, there's been so many random times out here in this damn
The
sack.
time we called Wrinkles?
Oh, kill me.
That was,
I wanted
oh
to
man, that's
crawl.
still one of my favorite things.
I wish I could have crawled under my garage.
Can we call Wrinkles again?
One of these days,
Yes,
you
Tiny.
can call Wrinkles again.
Give me your phone.
You can call him whenever you want.
No,
Tiny. You don't
Wrinkles-
let him tell you.
No, I mean on the show.
Wrinkles is not on tap for you to call on this show.